Alright, fellow hunters, time to look at the final episode of the day, which is The Monster at the End of This Book. A bearded man is sleeping on his couch. Suddenly, he begins to dream about strange things. He sees a motel room sign, a girl, the Impala, and Sam and Dean. While investigating a haunting, a comic shop proprietor assumes Sam and Dean are in a role-playing game. He shows them a series of books called Supernatural by Carver Edlund. The boys are shocked to find that the books document their life over the past 4 years. They discovered an online fandom of both Sam girls and Dean girls and Slash fans, much to their disgust. They turn to the book series publisher, and she laments that the Supernatural series hasn't sold well, complaining that what people want now is stuff like Dr. Sexy MD. She swears at them until they reveal their extensive knowledge of the characters, that they even have tattoos like the characters in the books. The publisher reveals the books were written under the pseudonym Carver Edlund by Chuck Shirley. Chuck is writing his next book as he hears knocking on his door and goes to answer, where he meets the brothers. When they introduce themselves as Sam and Dean, Chuck immediately shuts the door on them, thinking they were just fans who needed a life. The Winchesters then barged in and demand to learn how Chuck knows about their lives, eventually convincing him who they were when they tell them their last names, something he never told anyone. Chuck is astonished to be confronted by his creations, as he reveals the stories have come to him in visions. His latest vision has revealed that Lilith will visit Sam, and they have a night of fiery demonic passion. While Sam seems keen to confront Lilith, Dean thinks they are prepared to combat her yet and should avoid her by doing the opposite of everything Chuck has foreseen. Hiding in a motel room surrounded by hex bags hiding from Lilith, Sam asks Chuck if he knows about him drinking demon blood, which he does, and he confronts Sam about why he is doing it. Meanwhile, Dean is trying to avoid doing what Chuck foretold, but the events keep coming to pass whatever he does. Dean accuses Chuck of withholding information and is about to attack him, but is stopped by Castiel, who appears and reveals Chuck as a prophet of God, who is protected by an archangel, and that his books will one day be known as the Winchester Gospels. Dean asks how they can stop the Sam and Lilith makeout part, but Castiel says that what a prophet has written will come to pass no matter what. Dean returns to the motel to find Sam has burned hex bags, so Lilith will find him. Frustrated, Dean threatens to leave, but changes his mind and storms out of the parking lot. Desperate, Dean starts to pray and Castiel appears while praising Dean for his new start of praying. Dean pleads with Castiel to help him stop Lilith, but the angel says he cannot interfere because it's divine prophecy. Upset, Dean disparages Castiel as God and says that the day will come when he needs his help and Dean won't answer. As Dean moves to leave, Castiel stops him and gives Dean information on how to stop Lilith, revealing that the prophet is protected by an archangel, the most fearsome wrath of heaven, who will intervene if said prophet is threatened. Dean realizes that by putting Chuck in the same room with Lilith, the archangel would appear and destroy the threat. He thanks Castiel for the help, and the angel wishes him luck. Dean heads to Chuck's house where he tells him that he needs to go to the hotel where Lilith is, because he's protected by an archangel and the archangel will kill Lilith. Chuck refuses, saying that this wasn't in his story, and Dean tells him that if he doesn't go, Dean will shoot him. Chuck smugly says Dean can't because an archangel is protecting him. Dean says they'll just have to see who's the quicker draw. Needless to say, Chuck agrees. Back in the motel, Sam is found by Lilith, who appears in the form of a blonde woman. She asks where Ruby's dagger is, and Sam tells her it's on the nightstand. Lilith goes over to get it, but when she stops, she gets to the rug. Sam lifts it up to reveal it's a double trap. She breaks away by burning part of it with a touch. She tells him that she'll stop breaking the 66 seals, along with the entire apocalypse, if Sam and Dean die. Lilith taunts him, saying he's selfish for not trading 2 lives for over $6 billion. Going once, going twice, Lilith says. Sam corrects and agrees. Lilith says it'll take a lot more than a kiss to seal a deal like this, not to worry about the woman's body, who she was possessing, because the woman apparently wanted it badly as well. Lilith sits on the bed and Sam follows, getting on top of her. She leans down, and Sam suddenly reaches over to the nightstand and grabs Ruby's dagger, trying to stab her with it. He fails and Lilith flips him over, holding the dagger over Sam. Just as she's about to stab him, Dean and Chuck bust in. Chuck runs at first, and Dean follows. "I'm the prophet, Chuck," Chuck says. Lilith backs off Sam, with the dagger still in her hand. "You've got to be joking," Lilith replies. The motel starts to shake as Lilith walks closer to Chuck. Oh, it was no joke. Chuck here's got an archangel on his shoulder, Dean says. The motel continues to shake and a bright white light appears. The ceiling starts crumbling, and Dean tells her she's about 10 seconds from becoming a piece of charcoal. Both weighs her option as pieces of ceiling continue falling. Quick deciding it's not worth it, she expels from the woman's body. The woman passes out after Lilith leaves her body and the lights fade too. Later, Sam and Dean talk about the event. Sam and her consider the deal, convinced she would only find a way out of it. Dean's unnerved at this, knowing demons never break deals. Ticket he himself would have taken it to stop the apocalypse. Sam Draco promises he will kill Lilith, while Dean is left privately fearing Sam would choose revenge over self-sacrifice. Following the confrontation with Lilith, Zachary appears to Chuck after he has seen another vision. When Zara revealed what Chuck saw, he is panicked and wants to warn Sam and Dean. Zachary tells him not to, and that if he tries, he will be stopped. Chuck threatens to kill himself, but Zachary says they will only bring him back to life. In despair, Chuck asks what he should do. Zachary replies, "Do what you always do." Right. Good boy. So anyway, let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. It's revealed that Chuck is a prophet who is transcribing the adventures of Sam and Dean. Castiel says that these books will become known in the future as the Winchester Gospels. Chuck is the first prophet to be introduced in the show, and the information in his books will be important plot points in the real Ghostbusters and Clips show. However, this was later revealed to be false, as Chuck was merely masquerading as a prophet and was actually, spoiler alert, God. Sam and Chuck discuss Sam's demon blood drinking, which have been revealed to the audience on the head of a pin as a source of his growing powers. Sam says they cannot stop drinking demon blood, indicating that he has already become addicted to it. The Rapture sees him struggling with withdrawal symptoms, and when the levee breaks, has him placed in involuntary detox by Dean and Bobby. He forced to detox again, this time voluntary, in My Bloody Valentine, after relapsing due to Famine's powers. Lilith reveals that she is destined to die before the apocalypse starts, and that is why she wants to make a deal with Sam to stop breaking the 66 seals. Lucifer reveals that Lilith's death is in fact the last seal needed to break for Lucifer to be freed. Let's explain Lilith's actions in this episode. In the ending, Chuck foresees something catastrophic which he goes towards Sam and Dean about, only to be stopped by Zachariah. Zachariah's insistence on keeping this vital information from the Winchesters is the first hint that he, and by extent the host of heaven, is manipulating the Winchesters. Lilith makes her first real appearance in the season, having previously appeared as a hallucination to Dean and Yellow Fever. The last appearance in person was No Rest for the Wicked. Castiel appears again, having last appeared on the head of a pin. Zachariah also appears after having been first introduced in the previous episode. It is likely the Archangel who manifests to defend Chuck by killing Lilith is Raphael, as this is the Archangel who appears to Castiel and Chuck and kills Castiel and Lucifer Rising. Given his descriptions of the racist ghost truck and having sex, the book that Dean is reading is based on Route 666. The publisher mentions Dr. Sexy MD in passing as a reason why Supernatural was discontinued. Dr. Sexy MD appears in Changing Channels and Hello Cruel World. Funnily enough, Changing Channels reveals it to be one of Dean's guilty pleasures. Chuck references the events of Bugs and Red Sky at Morning. Though Castiel is forbidden from interfering with divine prophecy, he tips Dean off to save Sam from Lilith using Chuck, showing that Castiel is beginning to bend the rules to help Dean. Castiel's growing rebelliousness will be punished in the Rapture, and he'll finally rebel against the host completely in Lucifer Rising due to Dean's influence. Dean references on Head of a Pin, revealing that Castiel has told him about Sam using his powers to kill Alistair. In this episode, Chuck says to Sam, "Obviously I'm a god. I write things and then they come to life. Yeah, no, I'm definitely a god. A cruel, capricious god. The things I put you through. The physical beatings alone. I killed your father. I burned your mother alive. They had to go through the whole horrific deal again with Jessica. All for the sake of literal symmetry. I toyed with your lives, your emotions, for entertainment." Although the Winchesters don't believe him, it turns out to be true in the finale of season 14. And now finally, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. The title of this book references the Sesame Street book There's a Monster at the end of this book. In the book, Grover tries to stop the reader from reaching the end of the book and encountering the monster. On the last page, she discovers that the monster is him. Both the episode and the book break the fourth wall in this regard. Chuck Shirley's pen name was Carver Edlund. This is attributed to supernatural writers Jeremy Carver and Ben Edlund. In this episode, Dean and Sam identify themselves as agents DeYoung and Shaw. Dennis DeYoung and Tommy Shaw are members of the band Styx. Flynn plays Karen Giles, King Connor Tracy. In the episode The Usual Suspects, the same person who plays the publisher Sarah Sage in this episode. The diner which Sam and Dean eat and discuss in the middle of the episode is called Kripke's Hollow Diner. The greater supernatural is Eric Kripke. During the scene of the comic shop, there's a poster of a clockwork girl behind the clerk. One of the posters at Chuck's house is from the cover of the third issue of the Supernatural Origins comic books, which chronicles the story of Joe and Joe's early days on the road with Sam and Dean. Another poster on Chuck's wall is by the staircase is of Grifter from the comic book series by Jim Lee, Wildcats. Chuck realizes Sam and Dean are really says, "Obviously I'm a god," which is denied by Sam. However, later in the series revealed that Chuck's true identity is God. Chuck predicts that Sam will have sex with Lilith at the Red Motel while Dean drives the Apollo around town with the back window smashed out. In an attempt to prevent the predictions from happening, they stay at the Toreador Motel. Dean tells Sam to stay at the motel while he parks the car. As Dean walks away from his parked and locked car, two guys try to break into the vehicle. They break the back window and Dean drives back to the motel with the tarp and the empty frame. Dean finds, upon returning to the motel, that several letters on the neon sign of the motel have blown, and now reads the Red Motel. Dean runs inside to find Lilith and Sam. This is reminiscent of Bad Yet Black Rock, a mystery spot, humor episodes from season 3. This is the first of a handful of episodes where nobody dies. The title of this episode can be seen as an Easter egg for being the first physical appearance of God, somebody known as Chuck Shirley, and his role as the show's final big bad. According to Supernatural, the official companion season 4, pages 96-97, the decision to change Lilith to an adult was because Sam was going to murder her. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So I really do like this episode, and it's also, again, another of my favorites from the season, so yeah. So overall, I give The Monster at the End of this book 5 Impalas out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in tomorrow as we till the next episode, Jump the Shark. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.